Aldershot smash 6 past Guiseley to keep their 100% record intact. Rovers are rocked by a solid Sutton. And Dave Tarpey masterminds Maidenhead's victory over Hartlepool. Aldershot fans arrived at the EBB Stadium with much to be happy about. 2 wins out of 2 saw them early leaders of the National League. Meanwhile, Guiseley were on the road for a second time in 4 days, searching for their first victory. The home side's bright start should have acted as a warning of things to come for Adam Lockwood's men. Already with a goal disallowed, Matt McClure broke the deadlock on 20 minutes with a superb curled effort from the edge of the area, the striker's first goal of the season. Aldershot were up and running, and it didn't take long for them to double their tally. Shamir Fenlon with the cross, and McClure the provider this time. His volley finding skipper Callum Reynolds, who headed in from close range. Guiseley were on the back foot, and things weren't about to get any better. Defender Marcus Williams gifting Aldershot their third after failing to clear the ball. Jim Callum in the right place to pounce for only the second goal of his career. 3 minutes later, Fenlon added his name to the score sheet for the third time in 3 games. Johnny Maxted spilling the ball into the Irishman's path to concede his 4th before the break. It may have been about damage limitations for Guiseley in the second half, but Gary Waddock's team hadn't finished. James Rowe stealing possession in midfield and firing low into the bottom corner. 5-0 in Hampshire. Into the final 15 and time for one more. McClure rising above Maxted to head home his second of the game. Aldershot have now won their opening 3 matches for the first time in 14 years, but the manager isn't resting on his laurels.
Well, we always want more. I just said to the lads in there, now you've got a problem because you've set a standard now and you've got to maintain that. So, you know, the level of play today was very, very good, and we were clinical in our finishing. And nobody should get carried away with it because we're only 3 games into it.
We've got 9 points on the board, which is a good start, and we couldn't really have asked for much more. But it's a big month, 7 games in a month, so they come in thick and fast. We just got to make sure that we stay grounded because, like I said, there's a long way to go.
A match-up at the Silver Lake Stadium between 2 teams with excellent starts to the new campaign. Home side Eastleigh were the only club in the National League who hadn't conceded. Dagenham had won their first 2 for the first time in 13 years. All but one of the Daggers' goals this season have come inside the first 25 minutes. This impressive early energy continues after crafty Corey Whiteley got the better of Graham Stack 13 minutes in. Eastleigh won at home to Sutton United in midweek and avoided going in at half-time a goal down as an excellent Danny Hollands through ball was finished off by Ben Williamson. Into added time in the first half and some WW Eastleigh. In Hampshire, Ayu Obelay was hauled down in the home team's box by Dagenham's Kevin Locko. Penalty given. Williamson stepped up. The pre-season Cambridge signing scored all 3 of Eastleigh's goals this season. With 15 minutes to go, wrestling turned to tennis, head tennis. And wrestling again as Locko was this time brought down. Spot kick awarded to the Daggers. Whiteley did the business. It's 4 goals for him this season. Dagenham and Eastleigh stay unbeaten, but John still thinks the away team should have won it.
We gave away a penalty last week as well, and it's just ridiculous. And we give them the ascendancy. So we've come in, I think, having been a better team, 2-1 down. And I just point out to the players that, you know, we have to cut out the mistakes. Penalty's a mistake. We have to cut that out, and we have to go and play our game. We have to go and play the way that we play.
If we look back to last season, there were too many performances where we rolled over and our bellies tickled. You know, Dagenham have come here today, they've got a point, but they've had to work hard for their point. And that's what we've got to do. We've got to make it difficult for teams to get anything off of us.
After a comfortable win against Woking in the week, Mickey Mellon's Tranmere welcomed Sutton United to Prenton Park looking for back-to-back victories. The visitors, without a win in 8 away from home, were determined to improve their form on the road. It was Sutton who threatened first, Tommy Wright with a spectacular effort, forcing keeper Scott Davis to spring into action. Rovers responded and almost opened the scoring. Dean Beckwith, on the scoresheet a week ago, was robbed by Andy Cook, who rounded keeper Jamie Butler, only for Jay Harris to have his shot cleared off the line as the visitors rode their luck on Merseyside. The turning point came when Craig Eastman's pass split the Tranmere defence. Craig Dundas with the finishing touch to celebrate his first goal since Boxing Day 2015. Into the second half and the hosts came close to levelling things. Cook's header beating Butler but not the woodwork. The final whistle signalled defeat for Tranmere for only the second time in 15 league games. Jeff Brazier caught up with the winning manager.
2 big scalps already this year. Great start to the season.
Yeah, 6 points from the first 3. I must admit, when I saw the fixture list, if I'm being honest, you fear it a bit. Orient, Eastleigh away, and then Tranmere away. So, great credit to the players. I've got to say, they're a real good set of boys. They dig in for each other, but they're very close off the pitch as well. So, from that point of view, if they can stick to that work rate, they got a chance.
A first competitive encounter between 2 of the new clubs in this season's National League. Ebbsfleet were unbeaten in their opening couple of matches, notably defeating Maidstone earlier this week. Fylde had also not suffered defeat in England's 5th tier. It took only 8 minutes in the southeast for the team from the northwest to take the lead. It was a first for Fylde for Henry Jones, a summer arrival from Bangor City. Danny Rose scored a record 47 goals last season for Fylde in National League North. His first of this campaign was assisted by Jack Muldoon, 2-0 to the visitors after only a quarter of an hour. Ebbsfleet have a formidable home record, not losing at Stonebridge Road since Boxing Day last year. 3 minutes after going 2 down, Miles Weston's cross was headed in by Kenny Clark. The fight back was on. There was bad news this week for Daryl McMahon's team as captain Dave Winfield's been ruled out injured until at least Christmas. He watched on as a loose ball in the Fylde box was smashed in by Danny Kedwell. The striker scored 12 times last season. With barely half an hour of play, supporters saw a 5th goal from a badly cleared corner. Sam Finley got on the score sheet. Fylde were back in charge, 3-2. And following a pulsating first half in Kent, it took until the 89th minute for the next and what turned out to be final goal. A low effort from Andy Drury saw the thriller end 3-3. Ebbsfleet's unbeaten home run stretches now to 26 league matches.
Leyton Orient bounced back from their opening day defeat with a win against Solihull Moors on Tuesday night to get their National League campaign up and running. But they had to be patient against a dogged Maidstone United, who dug in for an hour at the Matchroom Stadium before David Mooney headed in James Dayton's cross to give the hosts the lead. The visitors, without the suspended Stuart Lewis, pushed for an equaliser, but Orient sealed it with the last attack of the game. Charlie Lee picking up on the halfway line and substitute Romuald Bocco registering his first goal since signing from Accrington in the summer. That's 2 wins in a week for Steve Davis. Maidstone have now failed to score in 4 of their last 5 matches.
In the 6 National League matches these two had played against each other, Dover had never been defeated, but Wrexham went to Crabble after seeing off Maidenhead 2-1 away in midweek. Dover lost 2-1 to Bromley. Wrexham started strongly, but so too did Dover keeper Mitch Walker, who denied Scott Bowden from close range. Chris Kinnear's team, after that Bromley loss, hadn't won at home in 3 matches. A shot on 18 minutes from Mitch Brundle was deflected to Kane Richards. He calmly teed up Ryan Bird. 1-0 to Dover and a first goal for the club for Bird, who signed earlier in the summer from Newport. As the home side went for 2 in the second half, a Jamie Allen header was cleared off the line by Sam Wedgbury. For Dover, it's now 7 games without losing to Wrexham.
The performance at times was a bit scratchy, but on saying that, we went through phases where we did very well, created chances, and that's all you can do. Still a learning process for most of the players, so we're pleased with them. They're a great bunch to be with, and it's been enjoyable so far.
Welcome back to the Vanarama National League highlight show. Still to come, Barrow bagged their first 3 points of the campaign, and Boreham Wood proved too good for Solihull. 2 teams without a win in this season's National League faced off at York Road as newly promoted Maidenhead United welcomed Hartlepool. All eyes were on Maidenhead's Dave Tarpey as the 28-year-old looked to impress after scoring a record 44 goals in the National League South last season. Craig Harrison's Hartlepool, though, were out to spoil the party as they hoped to build on their draw against Macclesfield in midweek. Watching this one for us was Adam Virgo and Adam Somerton.
Foul by Lewis Hawkins. Maidenhead United were eager to get on with it, and that wasn't far away at all. No messing about from James Comley.
Well, he's not really renowned for his goal-scoring exploits. I'll tell you what, Scott Loge for that split second was heart in your mouth moment.
And there could be a chance here for Tarpey! He's taken that chance! Last season's goal-scoring talisman is at it now at a higher level. In the National League, he's doing the business, and Maidenhead United lead here at York Road. Really busy penalty box, and headed towards goal and just kept out. Right on the line, so close to a second. Loach was almost beaten again, but they've got work to do here, some defending to do. 5 minutes have passed by in this second half. Hartlepool have been the better side so far. The goalkeeper again, wasn't sure, and it was Cassidy who got the shot in, but put it wide.
Well, he just snapped at it a little bit, but again, you're looking at Carl Penley. Again, just flapping. He's not too sure whether to come for it or stay on his line. The shape of formation is so much better. More movement in the final third, more movement in front of them.
Oh, Tarpey here with a chance to get his second, and he does, emphatically. Terrific Tarpey does it again for Maidenhead United. What a start to life in the National League for him and his club. He hammered that one home.
Well, I don't care who you are, you don't save those.
Well, Maidenhead not in a rush here, and who can blame them really? 2 to the good at home. Oh, and Tarpey! Good save by Loach.
Great save from him, he just gets down well. Good, strong hand from him.
Pressure from Rodney up against Kilman. And Ammon's waiting in the middle. Can he pick him out? The pullback's a good one. And that's a fantastic save by the goalkeeper, Penley. Oh, the referee here has pointed to the spot.
Just a late challenge on Magnay there. It's a 2 foot for Comley.
Porrick Ammond looking for what would be his first league goal of the season up against Carl Penley. Here comes Ammond. And there is that lifeline that Hartlepool United had craved. They're back in it with just over 3 minutes of normal time remaining. It's going to have to be last ditch for Hartlepool if they're to take something. Tarpey racing through here. He's on a hat-trick. He can finish it off. Oh, it's a great save by Loach. Brilliant goalkeeping.
Oh, he did brilliantly, didn't he? Just spreads himself so big right at the end.
A big moment for the Magpies. Thanks to Tarpey's brace, Alan Devonshire's Maidenhead United have their first ever National League win. It comes at the 3rd attempt, and against a team who were 2 leagues above them a year ago.
Yeah, we played well. I thought we totally deserved the win, and it didn't flatter us at all, you know. So yeah, I'm delighted. And where we played quite well on Tuesday and didn't get the result, we played well today and got the result. So I'm really pleased.
Scoring 46 last year, obviously there was a lot of talk. Can I do it in the higher league? Obviously to score on Tuesday, obviously it was great to get the first goal out of the way, and then to get two here is always great. Yeah, I tried to play with a smile on my face. Obviously that's sort of the best part of football, is enjoying it. And obviously when you win against a team that's obviously dropped down a division, and obviously we've stepped up, it's always great.
Went behind in the last 3 games, you know, and obviously come back against Macclesfield and got a point, and possibly maybe got a point today. But you give 2 goals away, 2 silly goals, and you're going to struggle.
Last season was a campaign of opposites for Barrow, who came agonisingly close to the playoffs, and Woking, who narrowly avoided relegation from England's 5th tier, though the previous 3 matches between these two had ended in a draw. The away side came close as part of an action-packed start. Joe Ward was denied by the excellent goalkeeping of Stuart Moore. Then an even better moment from one of Moore's teammates. Adi Yusuf's 25-yard chip surely has to be one of the goals of the week. The Tanzanians recently signed from Grimsby. The lead was doubled a couple of minutes after the restart when a long Dan Jones throw found its way to Jordan White, who headed into the Woking net. 2-0 to Barrow, a first goal for the club for White. The former Wrexham player should have made it 3 moments later, nodding just wide of the target. But from a corner, White got another chance to score his second, a clean header sealing a first win of the season in the league for Barrow and their boss Paul Cox.
We came up against a very strong wind in the first half, and I thought we made some good decisions. The shape looked better now than it did on against Dagenham. And we created a lot of chances. Probably another day, should have scored, a few more. But really pleased for the lads who've worked hard and, like I say, thoroughly deserved the 3 points.
To Meadow Park for Boreham Wood against Solihull Moors. 2 sides that had played out 2 draws in their encounters last season, both still without a win this campaign. It was only Solihull's second game, and they opened the scoring just after the half-hour mark. A long throw into the penalty area was cleared only as far as Fiacre Kelleher, the former Celtic defender on loan from Oxford United, turning and netting his first goal in English football. The lead, though, only lasted 2 minutes. Paul Benson first with an effort saved, Angelo Balanta with the follow-up, but it was Jamie Turley's touch which was adjudged to have crossed the line. The hosts' fight back continued with 2 more goals in quick succession. Bruno Andrade putting Boreham Wood in front, before the Portuguese midfielder started the build-up for the third. Conor Truman could do nothing to stop Benson, the 37-year-old with his first goal since moving from Dagenham and Redbridge. The 3 points were wrapped up on 59 minutes. Ricky Shakes showing his skill and Balanta bagging his first at home in 8 months. 4-1 in Hertfordshire, and Boreham Wood boss Luke Garrard pleased with his side's response.
To go 1-0 down to then go 3-1 up it's a massive credit to the boys. I think that the character within that dressing room shows that within that first half performance. I don't think we were great for 35 minutes, but the last 10 of the first half I felt Kieran Murtagh come into the game, I felt Rico come into the game, Angelo Balanta. Bruno for me was man of the match by a country mile. He was awesome every time he landed on it. He caused problems, he dragged people into areas I didn't want to go, and I just felt that he was a menace the whole game.
On Tuesday, Gateshead won their first points of the season, beating Guiseley 1-0, but they hadn't won back-to-back league matches since March, and visitors in the northeast Torquay United defeated Gateshead in their previous clash. Less than 20 minutes in, a dangerous ball from Callum Williams was turned in by Torquay's Ryan Higgins. After setting up the own goal, Williams was set up to score himself by Danny Johnson, but denied from close range by Ryan Clark. Into the second half, Gateshead did double their advantage over the team that came 17th in the National League last season. Clark was beaten by sub Richard Pennicott, who beat the away side's offside trap. Ryan Higgins' protests were rejected. Victory was sealed in the last 10 minutes as a delivery from hard-working Jordan Barrow was knocked in at the post by Miles Anderson. The Gateshead top scorer this season is own goal with 2 goals. The Tynesiders now own 6 points from their first 3 games Torquay have won.
I thought it was another good performance from the lads, another clean sheet. So after a disappointing defeat last Saturday, it's been a good turnaround and 2 wins, 2 strong performances, 2 wins. So we were happy with that.
Macclesfield and Bromley both had an unbeaten record to protect coming into this game at Moss Rose. The home side were held to a draw against Hartlepool on Tuesday, while Neil Smith's side were playing off the back of their first win away at Dover. The hosts were unlucky not to go ahead in the opening 15 minutes. Kobe Arthur testing David Gregory from 20 yards. At the other end, Brett Williams tried to break the deadlock. His effort deflected and tipped away to safety by Shwan Jalal. Arthur tried his luck again as both sides searched for a goal. Gregory pushing away the powerful strike from the former Birmingham City midfielder. A point and a clean sheet, a result the Bromley boss was happy to go home with.
I thought we were put under a lot of pressure today from a very, very good Macclesfield side. And I think as a team we withstood it. We grouped together, we battled well, and I think we deserved the point today.
Chester drew 1-1 at home to Fylde in midweek, their first National League match of the season after the Solihull postponement a week ago. Halifax were yet to score on their return to the 5th tier. The away team's best opportunity came 10 minutes into the second half, a Josh McDonald cross shot off the bar. Chester almost secured a win in the final minute. James Akintunde was stopped in style by Sam Johnson. Halifax still haven't found the net. Chester have 2 points from 2 draws.
So, after 3 games, Aldershot Town continue to lead the way at the top of the National League after their 6-0 drubbing of Guiseley. But Shots fans beware, none of the last 4 teams to win their opening 3 matches have been promoted. Dagenham and Redbridge lost their own perfect record after slipping up against Eastleigh, while consecutive wins for Leyton Orient and Gateshead sees them climb the table. It was joy for Maidenhead supporters as they witnessed their first ever National League win, but more disappointments for Hartlepool, who only have a single point thus far. Promotion contenders Tranmere have ground to make up after defeat at Sutton, while 8 teams still remain winless. Our BT Sport cameras pitch up at the Shea in 2 weeks' time as Jamie Vardy's former team Halifax Town take on Guiseley. That's all exclusively live on Saturday the 26th of August from midday on BT Sport 1 and on our 4K UHD channel. That's about all for this week's Vanarama National League highlights show. Just enough time to congratulate Andre Gray on his record £18 million move to Watford. The former Luton Town striker was scoring for fun in the 5th tier 3 years ago, and with Football League clubs sniffing around Maidenhead's Dave Tarpey, who knows if he can follow in Gray's footsteps. Thanks for watching, we'll see you again soon.